was found buried under the sea. That's when Peter came up with another story. Kim had died from poisonous fumes and he her body to get it out of the narrow submarine. But Kim's death was no accident. Peter's laptop and phone showed videos he'd watched of women being tortured and executed. The minute the submarine's hatch closed, Kim was a dead woman walking. Peter already had a saw, knife, and sharpened screwdrivers on board.
I kind of broke the bowl.
Killed
Wait, no, wait.
Then he sank his submarine and got rid of the crimes. Peter was sentenced to life. In 2020, he escaped prison. The stint at the outside world was long. That same day, he was found and taken in. Blanche Monnier captivity photo. On the 23rd of May, 1901, the Attorney General of
No.
Monniers were a well-respected conservative family of love. The sort that would do something. They stormed into the house, charged by emaciated woman surrounded gold, excrement, insects, and vermin. Her name, Blanche Monnier, Monnier's daughter, who had disappeared in 1876. More than Blanche had the world at her fingertips. She was beautiful, a wealthy family, and a wealthier suitors. The only man Blanche was interested in were Blanche's mother and her brother Marcel. So he a disgrace to the family. But Blanche was taken to a tiny room in the attic and chained to the bed. It was 25 years. They mournfully told everyone that the lovely Blanche had disappeared, even long after done. She was rescued. She was 56, weighed a mere 25 kilograms, and had gone mad. Blanche's mother was arrested, died 15 days later. Her was convicted at first, but was acquitted because he was considered mentally incompetent. There was no law against rescuing your sister from your mother yet. Blanche would live for 10 more years before dying in a psychiatric hospital. Annalise Michael exorcism photo. In 1976, two Roman Catholic priests, Alt and Armel Prince, were on trial, and it's not for the reason you think. The two were involved in the death of Annalise Michael, who had starved to death during a 10-month-long exorcism. Anne grew up in a devout Catholic family in West Germany, but when she turned 16, Anne started having seizures. By 20, she was on heavy psychiatric medication for psychosis and depression. Even with the drugs, Anne ate insects and drank her urine. Once, she bit off the head of a dead bird. Final straw was when she told her family that she was healed. They took her off the meds and approached the Roman Catholic Church for an exorcism. It was approved. For the next 10 months, Ernst Alt and Arnold Rentz exorcised Anne while she spoke in a deep, growling voice. These sections lasted for 4 hours. For the entire period, Anne was restrained and kept on her knees. The kneeling caused some of her bones to break. They didn't stop or even treat her wounds. They just continued with the rituals. By this time, Anne had stopped eating, weighed just 33 kilograms. 67 exorcisms later, she died of dehydration and malnutrition. Anne was just 23 years old. Parents and the two Roman Catholic priests were found guilty of negligent homicide. Though the priests were sentenced to 3 years of probation, Anne's parents never served time because they had suffered enough. Level 6. Dylan Redwine case.
What's your girlfriend?
November 19th, 2012, police received a missing persons report from Elaine Hall. Her son, Dylan Redwine, had flown into Colorado to see her soon-to-be ex-husband, Mark, on a court-ordered visit. The following morning, Mark left home to run some errands, and when he got back, the 13-year-old was gone. Father and son didn't have a great relationship. so people didn't think much of it when Mark said Dylan had run away.
The heck?
Then, months later, Dylan's body was found 8 miles from Mark's home. But then a lot of people were suspicious of him.
What do you think's going on here?
I think Mark has something to do with it.
Grabs the
Now,
gun.
done something.
Everybody!
And suppose I strongly think that he's involved.
He didn't join
Fling
in the
me
search for
5.
Dylan. He had told an ex-wife the mountains were the best place to get rid of a body. He also told his older son, Corey, that Dylan's head needed to be found to determine the cause of death. Mark and Elaine also appeared on Dr. Phil, where Mark flat out refused to take a polygraph test.
You should be flips right now to take this polygraph test. You were the last person to have seen your son before he disappeared.
No, not really.
What do you believe?
I believe that the postal worker that saw Dylan later that afternoon before I went looking for him.
The police did a more thorough search of Mark's home and truck and found traces of Dylan's DNA. He was arrested and would be sentenced to 48 years. So, why did Mark kill his son? Back in 2011, Corey and Dylan found some disturbing pictures of Mark on his laptop. He had on a wig, was wearing women's lingerie, wearing soiled diapers, and even eating human waste from said diaper. The boy's relationship with Mark had gone downhill then. Dylan had planned to confront them during his visit and had asked Corey to send him pictures. Faced with this humiliation, Mark had killed his own son, maybe in a fit of rage, maybe to keep him quiet. I guess we'll never know. Level 7. Lisa Holm murder case. There's a picture of what looks like an old, neglected public restroom. These yellow tiles were the last things Lisa Holm saw before she took her last breath. Lisa Holm was a 17-year-old working a summer job at a coffee shop in Bloomberg, Sweden. The night of June 7th, 2015, she texted her father that she had ended her shift and was heading home on her moped.
Shut up.
Hours later, when her father came to check what was holding her up, found her moped still there with the key in the ignition, but no Lisa. For 5 days, hundreds of volunteers flooded the area searching for Lisa. They slowly found bits of her things, cell phone case and license, all pointers that Lisa might still be in the area. Eventually, they made their way to a neighboring farm. Then, a suspicious man showed up and told them the area had already been searched. They didn't believe him and continued their search. Lisa's jacket and helmet were soon found in a nearby barn. They eventually worked their way to a nearby work shed. One of the closets found Lisa's body, the rope around her neck. The teenager had been raped, hung by the neck. Her body was hidden in the work shed. DNA evidence on Lisa's body and the ropes led them to 35-year-old Lithuanian Nerijus Belevičius, the same man who had tried to derail.
We'll take
Nerijus's
the
blood
what
of
stars
pornography,
that
and there was
we
evidence that he
forgot.
watched the girls in the
Oh,
coffee shop
what
with confidence.
Oh,
He was
look at that now.
sentenced to life in prison, but he wasn't there long. He got beat up by a lot of other inmates and was even drenched in hot water one time. 2022, he was fatally stabbed by another inmate. Robert Picton, the pig farmer killer. When Canadian police executed a search warrant for illegal firearms at the Picton Pig Farm on February 6, 2002, they expected to find weapons, pigs, and maybe one or two weird things. After all, David and Robert Picton were known for hosting wild parties on the farm. They didn't expect to find were the personal belongings of a missing woman. They executed another search warrant on the property. This time, they found much worse. Skulls, hands and feet, bloody clothing belonging to a victim, a jawbone and teeth, and a garbage can with human remains. By the time they were done, they had found the DNA of missing women. Some of them prostitutes, others were drug users. Robert Picton had murdered 33 women between 1995 and 2001. Robert, but the actual number at 49. And